Hello, this is Cassie B, and this is the Whatever It Takes podcast. Yeah, I don't even remember the last time I did one of these. It must have been last month. And a lot of stuff has changed in my life since then. I've done a lot, and yeah, I've done a lot. And I feel like I've grown a lot. I know I've been talking a lot about organization and cleaning and really getting my stuff together, and I'm extremely happy with how my room looks and with, you know, everything like that. I'm still working on the room, but I've done all I can do without buying new like hanging stuff to hang stuff up in. And yeah, so it's really good. I'm really anxious to get one of those things where people hang their shoes up on the door, but I want to hang like my hats and my gloves and my slippers, and that's a lot of what's left of the mess. But other than that, it's really good. I have a floor. I can do yoga in my room. In the future, I've been doing a lot of yoga. I feel good about that. I feel pretty healthy. I would like to, if possible in the future, be having a few more fruits and vegetables, but sometimes it's hard to figure out like how to fit them into a meal naturally. And they're quite sometimes expensive. The ones you really want are sometimes quite expensive. But I'm trying. I'm learning to make new things. I don't know, I made something I really liked yesterday. It was just a grilled cheese sandwich, but I figured out, like, sometimes when the bread is toasting too fast in the pan, but the cheese inside isn't melting. I figured out, like, oh, I'll toast the bread, and I even toast the sides. I pick it up and put it on each side of the square. And I just figured out, like, oh, instead of having my grilled cheese almost burnt, I will just put it in tinfoil after, and then I get like a perfect melted crispy grilled cheese, which is nice. And that tastes really good. And I like to cook, and I like to feel like I'm eating something really, I don't know, really good when I'm eating. Um, yeah, that was a good explanation. More like, I don't know, I want to feel like I'm eating out when I'm eating. I don't want to feel like it's something that I made. I just like that experience of like, every bite is delicious. Yeah, so that's something I've been doing, and I think I will do this podcast again. I'm going to try to do it more, and I'm not going to try to put it on like Spotify anymore. I know I have one episode on Spotify because I figured out how to do that sort of stuff. I decided I'm going to keep it to YouTube um until I find a reason to put it on a platform. I just don't see many benefits of it right now because this is just kind of like, I guess the things I talk about are very niche to me. I don't know what to really say. It's more of like a vlog. It's more of like, you know, I think it's great. I think it's good. I think in the future maybe there'll be a audience for it. But right now, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm focusing a lot on making, actual YouTube videos, like videos and filming with my camera and learning how to edit. For some reason, well, it has to do with anxiety, but sometimes when you have anxiety, it can be so hard to push yourself to learn something, even though you know it's not going to be hard. Like when I was starting to record this podcast again, it was like, I was like, I don't know, I might have even like put it off longer than I needed to it without intending to, because I thought it was going to be a hard process. But it's not when I just put it on YouTube. It's really kind of just straightforward. I do the recording, I talk about what I want to talk about. I just put it through iMovie Maker. Just put my photo in. I'm going to start doing a thumbnail. A better one, I guess. But yeah, that's all I have to do. I know how to do it. It's not the easiest thing. It's not the hardest thing. I can do it. And a lot has happened, good and bad. I can't believe it. Still don't have, well, I can believe it from everything that happened this year, but still don't have my license. Still am getting snubbed by like every driving school. I called another one. They were very professional in the beginning. They said they'd get back to me. They'd say all this stuff, and I was like, okay, that's great. And this was for like March. The classes would be in March, and it was the beginning of February when I did all this stuff. And really, it's just they say, oh yeah, we can do that, and they never get back to you. And they gave me 4 different numbers for driving schools, and I called them all. And one of them actually called me back one day, but I didn't have my phone on me then. I wasn't looking at my phone the whole day just because I was so busy. And they never called me back or left any messages. It was just like, I don't know. It's like we're playing one-sided phone tag. Because it's not like we're calling back and forth. It's like I called them, they say everything's perfectly fine. And then they call me, I call them back, and then I never hear anything ever again, which is really unprofessional. So that's where we are with driving school. I don't know if I said this before, but I was gonna do an audition for a musical. And let me talk about that a little bit. I think that's one of the big reasons I wasn't around. I was, for 15 days, I practiced for this musical from when I found that I could audition to a few days ago, the 18th of February. And I practiced so hard. I've even started doing, these 2 things were just a coincidence. I started singing lessons first, just because I always planned to do singing lessons to improve. And then I found this musical, and I was like, oh, singing lessons in a musical. And I practiced so hard and just so hard with everything. I don't, yeah. And when I did the audition, I had lots of confidence, but it was just not what I wanted it to be. Half of it wasn't. There was a monologue and there was the song. And the song, I feel like I really fell flat during my audition because it was just a really weird room. I don't know if it had really good acoustics or really bad acoustics, but for some reason, when I was singing, it felt like I couldn't hear anything. And then my song was only a minute and it went by so fast, and I didn't do the things I did warming up. And I wasn't nervous because of the people. I probably was a little nervous, but I had done exercises and things to, you know, be okay with that. And I was. And, I was like, during like a musical theater audition, I think it's kind of different. Well, of course, it's different from a job interview, but a job interview, you kind of just have to like cater to what they want. And during a musical theater audition, you also have to do that. But you can also, as long as you stay in the time limit and your monologue is what they want and you're in the guidelines, you can take more time to breathe. And I don't know if I'm describing this right, but you can like, don't rush it. Just, do it how you would do it during practice. And I think my monologue was really good. And it's a shame that my song just felt like it fell flat, and I practiced so much, and I'm just trying to eventually, when I feel I didn't get the part, and I felt like I wasn't going to, and that's totally fine. And it's hard, it's stressful when you feel like you're not gonna get it because you don't feel like you did your best. And that's hard when you practice so hard and you're like, oh, they didn't see what I have. They didn't see all I could give. But I think I picked a good monologue and a good song. And yeah, it took me a long time to pick all of those things. And I might do a video or I might do a podcast on all the stuff I did to prepare, because I wasn't unprepared. I just, sometimes in the moment you trip up. And yeah, everyone was nice at the audition, though. It was just like community theater. And I felt like I did a good impression, if nothing else. And when they have another one, I'm gonna definitely do it. It was kind of hard that the first thing that came up was a musical and not a play, because I don't really have any professional, like, singing ability. My technique isn't where I want it to be, those are the things I know I have to practice, and I was. But it was just such a short frame of time, to 15 days, because it wasn't in my mind. It was in my mind before to audition for something, but doing a play wasn't in my mind. So I literally had 15 days to learn all this stuff, learn and buy my music and do headshots and do a resume and do everything. And it was awesome. I grew a lot. But it's also hard, because I think when you don't do as good as you know you can do, you kind of unintentionally beat yourself up. You're like, I I was super cool with it. And because I mentally prepared beforehand, you have to do that because everyone doesn't get what they want, you know. Everyone, no matter who you are, you can have a time where you don't get the role you want or something. And, yeah, mentally prepared. But then I was kind of, I don't know, I said a lot of, it was just simple things that kind of pushed me off balance, like being like putting my hand on my head and being like, I could have done better. And I wasn't doing that intentionally. And yeah, for the first few minutes after I did it, I was fine. And then I kind of did the audition. And I was mostly fine. I got over it really quickly. Like today, it's not a big issue to me. But you do have some of that. It can definitely happen where you are kind of beating yourself up without knowing it. It kind of just comes all at once. You're like, I could have done better. Why did I do that? And you just have to be careful of that because, I don't know. It's totally fine to feel, I did so much work. I'm so ready for the next one. I'm really excited and happy. And yeah, I did really awesome. I picked a great monologue. The monologue I did was from Machinal, which is a play, and yeah. And it was very dramatic. The character was Helen, and she was talking to her mother about not wanting to marry somebody who wants to marry her. And it was a lot of feeling and emotion and all these things. And those things, like, really important to acting is facials. The emotions that are on your face and your tone of voice and your hand gestures and like becoming who you say you are. It was really good. I'm proud of my monologue. Yeah, I think overacting, well, this is my opinion. When you're practicing, like doing facial expressions and doing hands and stuff for acting, I think when you're practicing, it's okay to like kind of do it bigger than you would, because when you're doing the audition, sometimes it's hard to think of those things because you're kind of rushing yourself when you don't need to. But that was my monologue. It was great. And the song I sung was the beginning portion of Portrait of a Girl from Bear. And that was really good too. I just wish I did that a little better. But that's okay. I will continue to sing for myself. And I will audition for the next thing they have. So yeah, that's kind of where I am in my life. Some ups and downs. It's gonna be my birthday soon, in 3 days. And I'm excited for that. Well, I don't know if I'm excited, but I feel a feeling of I want to get it over with. And not in a bad way. It's just hard when you're waiting for something and then your energy is kind of low because there's something else that happened, like the musical. And I want to relax. I don't feel like, I just feel like today and until my birthday's over, I can't really relax. And it's not a bad thing. I'm excited for my birthday, but I want those good things that come with having a birthday. Like, yeah, just feeling relaxed, having a nice meal. I'm just getting organization stuff for my birthday. That's what I asked for, and um, because I was asked what I wanted, and so I just want to clean my room. It's really, cleaning for me is an every day. I would even say hobby because I do it every day. Because if you miss, you can miss a day and it's okay. But if you get behind on cleaning, it's like, oh my gosh, things pile up, and I don't like that. So I just do it every day, hopefully. Of course, I miss some days, but yeah. So it's nice to find some enjoyment from it. Sometimes it's, especially for me, if I don't do a few days, I will forget that it's so easy because I think time works a little differently in my mind. You know, one day can feel like 2 days. So if I miss like 2 days, I'll, in my mind, for some reason, it'll be like, oh, a week's gone by, I've done nothing, I've done nothing, I've done nothing, and kind of just blowing it out of proportion. Um, so yeah. So I want to just be consistent, and I'm really happy when you do something and you put a lot of work into it, especially cleaning. It's something that you can see the work you put into it right away, and especially like after a week or a month, you're like, wow, things are so much better than they were. It's really great. So, yeah, this is my first podcast getting back, and I think I will do more. For me, it's hard because I have to be either all in or I'm all out. You know, I can't really do it just when I remember to do it because for some reason I just don't. So I have to either do it more or less. So we'll figure out what it's gonna be. But I do like this. I like this a lot. I feel so good in my life. My job is going well. Got a part-time job, getting paid. Da, 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 da. My dogs are happy. Yeah, so thank you for watching. This was the Whatever It Takes podcast. Woo!